This is what you need, Harry.
Yes! James said he didn't have one. I
don't know if that adapter goes on that.
Well, let's find out.
But you're not going to be able to tabletop properly. James will walk in, he'll go, nah, no. Tell man, Pontifex. Stop playing with the mics.
What are you boys
Did you just unscrew that?
I told you not to play with those mics.
The mics. Get on the mic. It's not going to attach, Harry.
What are you doing? Oh, he's gonna fucking lose his shit when he comes back.
See, you just press that out, and I can rock the mic.
Oh, what are you gonna do? You're so gonna fuck that up.
Yeah! This is how I
Is that
roll.
gonna go onto that, though?
No, it's not. Not unless you, like, tape it or something. Like, it's really bad. See? I can get all up in people's face. That's what I needed before.
I am out.
Oh, wuss.
I just broke my bed. As long as the mic's okay. Oh, here it goes.
James, I can hear what you're doing through the headphones. I don't even need to see what. I know there's mischief. I just broke your mic. Have you lost the spacer for it?
What did you do? You just snapped that thing off. What did I say earlier?
Don't flip your microphone.
These two fucking idiots.
He lost a washer, Harry.
Nah, the washer's here. I got the
fell
washer.
off.
You just
Fell
broke
off.
the screw.
Oh, not sure.
I just broke the screw.
As soon as you left, they started digging around with the mic.
didn't.
Were you recording? Because you would have picked it all up. You're giggling like little girls about it. Oh, I couldn't believe it.
Oh god.
Harry, I didn't expect it from you. I thought Fred for sure was going to bust it. Fred had his off the handle. He was like, "Oh, I'm rocking the mic."
No, it's not. You live down tail cable. Fuck you.
I couldn't believe it because I had my back to them and I turned around and they went to this one.
Did you guys tug the things out of the socket? I did nothing.
And that's why we don't play with the mics.
Well, now I know.
Now you sounds like someone else's logic.
We're about to start fanging around. I've lost track what episode it is, but the important thing is we're recording on the 7th of May, 2012. For historical purposes. I'm James. I'm joined by Fred.
My name's Harry.
And Campbell. Right up in the mic.
What have you guys been up to?
I moved into a new studio this week.
Is that in a warehouse?
Did you?
Not in a warehouse, and yes, I did.
It's off site though, isn't it?
Yeah, like off out of my
Off
house.
house.
You mean
Off house? Yeah. Yeah. So it's on William Street, and upstairs above Little Willie's, it's a space called Paper Mountain Studios. And there's about 20 people in there. It's pretty cool. I've got a little nook,
Sweet.
and I'm grinding away. So I'm making my comic. It's good. Hitting page counts and the like.
Do you have an electric pencil sharpener?
Who
don't.
hooked you out up? Did you have to find it yourself, or did the mentor thing help you out?
No, not the mentor thing. How did I find out about it? I think I just found out about it. I know. Well, actually, someone else in the Jump program. So someone else has got a grant that I've got is helping run it. So she mentioned it, and a couple of people I'm friends with on Facebook are there. So they've kind of posted about it in the past.
What's the rent?
It's like $30 a week. It's only for a little space though. You can get bigger spaces. That's like
pretty
the
good.
smallest. Yeah. I just
get
need
one.
something off-site. You know,
Yeah.
I can't work at home. So, yeah, that's good. I'm still setting up, you know. Every time I go there, I'm bringing a little bit more stuff. And, yeah, making it my space. It's pretty cool.
That sounds cool.
It is.
Hmm.
It's very good. So working on the comic and being in the studio. It's been nice.
What have you guys been consuming? Or does anyone else want to say what they've been doing?
Yeah, what do
I
you
got the
No.
impression you guys were like, oh, no.
Nah, just
Well, what have you
at
been
work.
doing, though? Work. Yeah, what's that? For those new listeners, we've got like 130 listeners right now.
Just trying to do.
Well, tell people what you do.
I'm trying to frequency lock a laser to an optical cavity.
Sweet.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and it doesn't work.
So tell us about this cavity you're trying to lock your lasers on. Because I've been there.
Yeah, it's 10 centimeters long, made out of this glass that doesn't change its size with temperature. It's a very fancy one.
Oh.
And then I've got a pretty shit laser I'm trying to lock to it, so it's giving me all sorts of issues.
You should get a better laser.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of money. So,
You got some lying around the lab.
well, if I can get this laser to go, it'll work.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just the same old. Same old.
Is there a graphical user interface
For what?
for you trying to lock on a laser? Is it like Top Gun where they're like, oh, they've locked onto me, they've locked onto me? Is it like that?
No. Oh, sort of.
Is it a bit like Top Gun, the volleyball scene? Where they're kind of...
That's what lunchtime is like.
Oh, lunchtime at the physics labs like that. Just go down to...
It's more like that scene in
Matilda Bay.
Ghostbusters when they're like, Do, Re, Egon.
Oh, okay.
That's probably like the best one. Flicking switches and lights light up. And then if you turn a knob and you turn the knob too far, it goes all crazy, and then you turn the knob back.
Crazy in what way? Visually?
You have a little screen with like a green...
Oscilloscope.
An oscilloscope.
Yeah.
And if you turn the gain up too much, it'll just start to...
So there is a
oscillate.
visual, like, a graphical user interface. An
Yeah, well,
oscilloscope.
it'll be an oscilloscope. But it depends what you plug into it. So basically, yeah, 80% of the time it's staring at lines on an oscilloscope, making them either
Doesn't it
big
make
or
pretty
small.
colours though? Jimmy told it much better. He said it like
We should get Jimmy in.
Ugh.
he said it like split light into all these different wavelengths, and it was like a big colour rainbow.
No, that's the comb. That's different.
Oh.
I'm eventually going to lock a laser to the cavity and then lock the comb to the laser. And the comb is a laser of all colours
yeah,
at once.
How fucking cool is that?
Like a rainbow.
It's a rainbow laser.
What is it, the full light spectrum?
Actually, it's a series of sticks. A series of millions, hundreds of millions probably, of lasers at the same time, ranging from... Well, this one only goes... No, it goes from green or almost bluish to red.
So visible wavelength.
Visible wavelengths.
I thought you could only make lasers in certain wavelengths, like red, green.
Well, this is a fancy kind of laser because it is actually a series of pulses. But that is equivalent to a whole bunch of lasers. It's very weird.
Does it shoot, like, a different wavelength very quickly? Like, it shoots one wavelength and then a slightly...
No.
lower and then... No?
No, it's this it's this strange property of if you have something that pulses very, very small pulses, it's equivalent to a lot of things at once. I don't really understand. It's very strange.
Wow. That sounds cool.
That sounds cool.
It's pretty cool,
It sounds cool.
but it's very...
I was at SciTech last week, and just talking about the oscilloscope. They have this awesome...
We call them crows in the lab.
crows.
Cathode ray oscilloscopes, even though none of them are cathode ray oscilloscopes anymore. They're known as crows.
Okay.
So if you see... But then in America, they're called scopes.
What does that stand for? Oh, just
And
oscilloscope.
oscilloscope. Because you're not going to be like, pass me the oscilloscope. You just go, pass me the crow. Pass me the scope.
In SciTech, they've got this clear tube, right? It must be like a meter long or so.
Yep.
And then in that tube, they've got all these like foam balls, like
Yep.
all about the size of a dollar coin. And then you can send like a sound wave through that tube,
yeah.
and you can adjust the volume and the pitch. And then the foam balls vibrate, and they don't display the wavelength, but they become the wave.
Yeah, they show it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So you can change it, and then they all sort of like line up in this wavelength. It's
Whoa.
mind blowing.
That sounds
It's just like, in physics, the whole, like, you've got an open tube and you can fit, the
Yeah.
fundamental, the second harmonic, all that sort of stuff in it.
The balls arrange into that.
Yeah.
Well, I think the balls sit on top of the pipe with lots of holes on it, right?
So it's a tube, and they're just all inside it. Like if you just stuffed like balls into a tube,
So do they move up and down or back and forth or what?
they're all loose. So as you change it, you can change it, and sometimes they just like go across as a wave, and then sometimes if there's this sweet spot that you get, between pitch and volume, and you just get this one spot, and they just make these like amazing waves, and they just stay there. They
Yeah, it's
stay in
resonance.
place. They don't like move along in a wave pattern. They just stay there. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's probably like really basic science
Crazy.
stuff, but it's really
Physics.
awesome. Like,
Crazy.
Yeah, we got stuff
for
like that in
you and me.
Do you do cool shit like that in your lab, Fred?
Way cooler than that, but it doesn't look as cool.
So no.
so no.
So yes.
Harry, what have you been doing?
Just been growing fungi. I'm trying to identify 120 different plates of fungi. They all look the same.
I saw a show. It was actually Embarrassing Bodies.
Oh, best show ever. Do you mean you saw the best show ever?
It's actually made me feel sick.
Oh, was it the woman who had the vulva that was falling out?
No,
Was it
wasn't
the man
even
with
that
the
bad.
armpits that were rotting?
No, it wasn't even that bad. It's just
that was the
disgusting.
worst.
though. Why
Man,
would you watch that?
I couldn't watch that.
Oh, it's my favourite show.
I couldn't watch the rotting armpits. It was so gross.
It's just like I think I was eating. I was just like,
Oh, don't do that.
disgusting.
Don't
Yeah,
eat.
well-
Oh, come on.
But they just like drive some van to like a town square, and like
Yeah.
if you got some fucked up thing, you turn up to the van and they have a
Yeah.
look at you.
All these revolting Englanders. And they're all like, my foot fell off, but I haven't seen a doctor yet. I just thought it'd be alright.
One of the horrible bodies with some
She
girl's breasts
fell
were too
over.
big, so that was not the worst.
What was it?
Her breasts were too big,
Oh, damn.
so that wasn't the worst segment.
Do you think
That didn't make us-
breast reduction should be covered by health insurance?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
If it's for medical purposes, if you just for some aesthetic purposes, then
If you got like a bad back because
Yeah, but how do you prove? That's what I mean. That a lot of girls do get them for the. What was that?
cat.
I don't know. Swamp rat?
If you get them for your bad back.
Yeah, but that's why most women would get them.
Yeah, but some people want them smaller just to make them more perkier. I don't know. Do you think they have to prove that?
Oh,
I don't
well, I
think
think it'd be
so.
quite easy
Has
to
to be
prove.
means tested.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it should be means tested, perhaps. No, I think all healthcare
I'm
should
just
be free
throwing-
for everyone. No means testing on breast reductions.
But that just encourages people to get unhealthy.
No.
It becomes a burden on
Is
this.
that evolution gone a
No,
bit
it
mad
does
if
not.
your breasts are so big that it's like unhealthy? You know?
You
Is
just
that
need to be like
evolution
lying on your
gone
back
mad?
making babies.
It's like it's like
What do you mean?
it's like natural selection has picked girls with breasts that are so big that they're unhealthy. That's a bit fucked up.
Yeah, but that's like the birds of paradise. The males have feathers so large they can't fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Apparently,
selection of aesthetics.
peacocks
Yeah,
are
so
quite
it's weird.
amusing when you watch them fly.
I don't know.
I've never seen a peacock fly.
Seems weird.
I bet YouTube has answers.
I wish I had one of those mandrake ducks. You know those ones?
The giant penis.
Yeah. You
What
know,
would you do
you
with
know
it?
the one.
I wish I had one of those too.
What, a video of one? I don't know, just to see what it does.
Eat.
It's just
Swamp
hang around.
slime.
You want to see two ducks going at it?
Is his duck? Is his?
Just type
Dick duck.
big dick duck point.
Is it always out? That's what I want to know.
I don't
No.
Have you ever
know.
seen elephants go at it?
Yeah.
Because that comes out like a snake. It starts like a normal, and then it starts coming out, and it keeps coming out. and
You
it's
telling me
white.
it can turn corners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
No, well, after the show, have a look. It can turn corners. It seeks it out. It's like a snake.
I think whales are the same.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Well, because they're related, aren't they?
They're both
Mammals.
mammals.
No, but evolutionarily.
Yeah, they're both mammals.
No, elephants
No,
and
bullshit.
whales really close together.
Because they're big.
No,
Big,
because they...
big animal
No, they're-
millions of years ago evolved into
No.
like a whale and a...
Did you see the video of the elephant using the smartphone?
Was it a really big smartphone?
It was actually.
How was
It was one of those ones that like trying to be a half tablet, half smartphone, so you have to walk around going like this. But it was sitting there using just the tip of its trunk to
Wait,
try and
you
get some
said a
dexterity.
whale.
You said an elephant.
Elephant.
Oh.
It's an elephant.
I understand. They're so closely related, you can hardly tell them apart.
All right.
But I think we talked about this probably not on air, but whales they have to and probably other mammals as well. They have to save up semen, hold on to it to just, so when they fire into a lady whale, it just blows out everything else that was in there before, like from other competitors. So they're trying to,
I heard a theory that's what the shape of the tip of the human penis is like that.
I heard that as well.
It's like a scoop.
Creates a suction and negative pressure behind the tip of the penis. It, sucks. Because most animals don't have a penis shape like that. It's just straight like a dog.
okay.
Did you see? I saw one thing where two wolves have sex.
No.
And they lock.
Yeah, and they
All
lock
dogs
for
do
20
that, though.
minutes.
All dogs do that.
Do they? No,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah. Have you ever seen dogs have sex?
No.
No, but you always try and see them humping each other.
Yeah, they're always humping.
What do you mean they lock?
They lock.
And
It's
then the male turns around.
yeah, and they're
so
like
it's-
butt to butt.
They're butt to butt.
Ass to ass.
As opposed to doggy style, it's real doggy style. Butt to butt.
So it's like 20 minutes so enough time for the sperm to
and so
get-
no one else can
lock it
get
down.
in there.
I don't
and
understand how they turn around while locked.
I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand how they lock.
Dex-
What does that mean?
Penile
I don't know.
dexterity.
Well, because I think their penises have an actual bone in them. So when they get a boner, no.
That's where the term boner came from.
Oh, fun facts with camel. Elephant
works-
penises
I'm
could
still
turn a
looking
corner. Yeah, he works at a museum. Dogs' bones have boners. Boners have bones.
All right. What do
Did
you guys?
you
What have you
know?
guys been consuming?
Did you know? Nothing. I went to the football with you.
What was that like, Fred?
It was good. I like being part of a crowd.
You go to the football.
Oh,
field.
it's
It was
fun,
actually a
yeah.
really quiet crowd.
Really?
They didn't
'Cause
boo the umpires or anything.
Oh, they did a couple of times.
The baculum
Oh no! But normally when they
is a
come off,
bone
it's
found
like
in the penis of most placental mammals. It is absent in humans but present in other primates and dogs. The bone aids in sexual intercourse. And I'm showing everyone a picture of the dog bone boner. That's a fucking dog bone boner. A dog boner bone.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
I'm still looking up the whale elephant link. It's the dog one.
New segment.
Thanks for clearing
Boners
it up,
with Campbell.
You get a lot of listeners.
The world.
Oh, that's a walrus one. I found a walrus boner bone.
A walrus boner bone.
I was thinking today how crazy society would be if there was a full-on mating season for humans.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
That would
like
be
say,
crazy.
everyone just you have.
Yeah,
females really only want to do it once
A year.
a year for a few weeks. Other than that, it's like not a chance.
Wow. Things
And things would just go insane as far as I can figure.
You guys fans
Yeah, wow.
of the leopard seal?
Yeah.
Yeah, big
he's
fan.
cool. He's
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
He's
If you're
scary.
if you're a
yeah.
penguin or something.
Apparently they eat humans kind of like sharks.
Yeah, I heard
Any
of a
humans
diver.
swimming down the Antarctic?
No,
No,
some
they're
diver
gone.
got taken by one.
Yeah.
I remember reading about
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
I've
pretty
never heard of
scary.
him until today, until Joe Rogan was talking.
add them to the list. Whoops. The mating season, I think, would be pretty nuts.
That would be nuts.
I often think about that when
Be
the American
scary.
sailors come into port. Women act like it's mating season.
Yeah.
Is that really offensive to say?
Um,
A little bit.
Probably.
A little bit.
oh,
yeah.
this is something else I want to talk about that I forgot to put
But
on the show notes.
I got
Think
another
about it. It's
Not
like
all
a whole
women.
bunch of really horny guys with heaps of cash looking to party and they haven't seen another
Imagine if a
woman
whole
in,
bunch
like,
of
3
horny
months.
girls with
Yeah.
heaps of cash turn up to
Yeah.
Perth. You'd be
Oh, that's
like,
what I mean. Yeah. No, that's what I mean.
But I think it's a different
I don't think
mentality
it's-
for
I don't think
women.
it's I don't think it's unfair to for either party to act the way they act. I'm just saying, it gets pretty hectic.
Yeah. Well, do you know that? Well, I heard this the other day, and I tried to research it to back if there's any way to back it up, and there wasn't really. No one was really talking about specifics. But okay, so we're having this situation where lesbian couples are adopting, or one of the mothers has a child, and gets impregnated, and the other one, just sort of, in theory, stands by and do nothing. But supposedly, if a group of females live together, and with babies, with some people having babies, they all start to lactate or
like a wet nurse.
yeah. which enables, a lesbian couple to share the breastfeeding load.
Well,
That's convenient.
there's studies where...
But then some couples still have to take hormones and stuff to induce lactation.
There was this one thing where there was a bunch... It was like some sort of commune with a lot of women.
Yeah.
And, like, there was, like, this alpha male, or alpha female, and eventually everyone's menstrual cycle, these women living really close together, would sync up with this lady's cycle, so that they all were at the same time. And then they did things like they swabbed her armpits every day, and then they had volunteers sniff these, take a big whiff, and then after some time, just these random people's cycles would sync up.
I thought cycle syncing was a myth.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Has that been
I
busted?
don't think it's been debunked.
Well, if the lactating thing's true, then I don't know why
I don't know how the
menstrual
lactating
cycle thing would be.
But men are capable of lactating as well. Under stressful situations.
Why stressful?
I don't know.
Counterintuitive.
Yeah, I think.
No, I think I think that's a massive malnutrition and
Holocaust
hormonal.
situations.
It's not the stress that brings it on. It's the malnutrition and your body's just
so you become
fucked
a
up.
woman.
Yeah.
No, so your hormones are so fucked up because you're so unhealthy that you have too much of the wrong hormone and not enough of the right one. So you.
But that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But it's not in response to having a baby or anything.
But yeah, I remember watching the Power of One movie when I was a kid, and then he had a wet nurse. He had a black wet nurse, and that was really weird. It just didn't make sense to me as a kid. I never really appreciated it until I was older, going, oh, wait, I guess.
Didn't have, like, powdered milk back then. They could bottle fill you.
If you guys had a nanny, would you let them breastfeed your kid?
Nah, it's a bit weird.
What if it was that?
Weird.
What if your significant other couldn't lactate? Because even the ads for powdered breast milk are like, we recommend you breastfeed your baby until it's at least 3 months.
Apparently, it's really powerful stuff. Like, you can, if you get a cut, an infection, you just and you have a wife that's lactating, you just get to spray the breast milk on it, and it just heals up a lot faster than normal.
It's like pretty much the most amazing fluid that the body can produce.
Nah.
And doesn't it like evaporate because it?
Yeah, well, that's
milk and honey, Harry.
Yeah,
the ultimate drink.
Yeah, pretty much. But the thing, it also changes as well. So breast milk that a mother produces at week 1 is different to the milk she produces at week 4 because it's constantly changing for the baby's dietary needs.
You had a baby. Did you get to taste any of this? Did you
I
sample?
tried a bit. Yeah.
Was it nice?
Did it taste difference? Did you get your palate
Could you
cleansed?
never go back?
What to the cow?
The
to
forbidden
filthy
taste,
cow
yeah.
milk. Ugh. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. Don't know what else to say about it. No, I didn't have it in quantities.
On your breakfast?
No,
Can you imagine society if breast milk was as popular as cow's
I
milk?
think you'd have horrible human
You'd
breast
have
milk farms and stuff like that.
You would
So,
in developing countries.
Or did you hear about that ice cream store that made special breast milk ice cream?
Yeah. But
They got closed down, didn't they?
I think there were moves to close them down, and there's legal complications. But one of the things with that, I think that's a cool idea. But I think that milk's much better put to use in a milk bank. There's things called breast milk banks, and what they actually do with them is, if some women donate to these breast milk banks. Because some women produce huge amounts of milk when they're lactating, far more than their child could consume. So they pump the extra milk. They can donate it to these milk banks, and that milk gets used to feed prematurely born babies. Because their stomachs can't actually
I think they
process.
could just redo that study in 5 minutes. Sorry.
Their stomachs can't process formula mix. So some mums who do that, they actually save babies' lives by donating their milk, and then their milk gets used to.
I think they just
save
started
life.
one in WA.
Yeah, there's been one running here for a couple of years, and it's pretty amazing to think, because otherwise lots of these babies die and oftentimes I think their mothers, the biological mother, doesn't start lactating because of the premature birth. So she's relying on someone. I think that's how. Anyway, it's really cool.
Harry just showed me a report about that menstrual synchronization, and it may not be real.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Menstrual
inconclusive.
synchrony is a phenomenon that reported in 1971, wherein menstrual cycles of women who live together, such as homes, prisons, blah, 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 reported to become synchronized over time. The existence of menstrual synchrony has not been definitively established, and studies investigating has been controversial.
There's no overall synchrony then. It's completely random.
I think it's right, but it's like it's our desire to seek out patterns and see patterns where potentially there aren't any.
But it's like the same as the moon, though. That's a bit weird.
No, the moon definitely does have a pattern.
No, I know the moon has a pattern.
In fact, it was a supermoon last night.
Look at how
I
we can't
Get over this publicity for the supermoon.
Oh, come on!
How about can I borrow your iPad, Harry?
Last year's supermoon was the biggest one in 14 years in either direction, and it got zero publicity.
Yeah, well, it was slow news week, all right? Last year there was the whole Arab Spring.
Yeah.
All right, this year there's nothing.
It's autumn.
It's
it was.
what about that country that's falling apart? Libya.
Which country isn't falling apart, Fred?
Yeah, July is even making our country fall apart with her carbon tax.
Oh,
That's
And now
tick it off the list.
Or now she's giving money to mums for
know.
childcare. What's
I
that?
know, yeah, commie bullshit,
Just
and that's
giving
just to
away
soften
money.
the blow
Yeah.
that we're all going to have to cop because all the big producers are going to pass on the carbon tax buck to us.
Yeah.
Simple,
You should either
hard-working
get a job and pay for childcare, or stay at home and not work and not be able to afford anything.
So the supermoon,
supermoon. I prefer mega moon. I don't know why they didn't call it.
12% larger.
Whoa,
Whoa,
huge!
that's massive.
Imagine if your cock
Fred.
got 12% larger. You'd say you were having an erection. Think
No, I don't
about
think I
it.
would.
Think about
I'd
it.
say I was having a mega cock.
Super cock.
So how much bigger
I'd
was the one
probably
last
take a
year? Was
picture
a
of it,
mega
like,
cock?
to
Was that a mega cock?
No,
moon?
so... But it's a gradual effect, right? So presumably it takes 30 days or whatever. So, I don't know. So it's not like it's the supermoon tonight. It's like, you know, it'll be 1% bigger, then 2%, then 3%.
Yeah, and then eventually it'd get to 30%, and then that would be the super
12%.
12%, and then that would
That's
be
the supermoon, but it's not like it's, you know...
I thought its peak was last night. I thought it was 12%
Yeah, so it's
bigger,
peak.
and it was full moon. So that was like the best time.
I've been talking about supermoons for like the last 3. No one cared. Now suddenly it's just front page news.
Wow,
and
James. This
So
is
ahead of the
called.
time.
You're like the hipster astronomy.
everything. I know.
Yeah. So now you don't like supermoons?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're cool?
I was into
I'm so over supermoons.
Go to jimmerish.com, look at the bottom post. You can see I was filmed on the mega moon, which is way bigger than the supermoon.
Oh, what?
Maybe the news people just read your post and were like, oh shit, we missed it last year.
Yeah, I think
Let's
that's
make a
what
big
it was.
deal
Bring it
about
up
it last
this
year.
year, yeah. Maybe.
I watched a movie last night. It was one of the crappiest movies I've ever seen.
I watched the movie. I did watch that one.
What did you watch?
Drive?
Oh, I didn't watch that. That's supposed to be really good.
What did you think,
Nah.
Fred? What did you watch on your 12-inch screen with like...
Nah, well, I had it close to me.
Like a supermoon? Was it 12%
Yeah.
close?
Well, you hate cinema, so you would have hated it.
No, it was just a bit
It
like...
has flaws, but
It
it
does
is
have
trying
flaws.
to do something
Yeah, I
awesome.
appreciate that it's different, but it was still not very good, you know? I was okay.
Don't listen to him. You, Campbell, you've got to see it.
Nah, it's just a bit unbelievable. The guy's like... He's autistic or some shit, I don't know. It was
What
okay.
did you see?
I watched How to Lose Friends and Influence. and,
I saw the
Alien
beginning
AQ.
of that.
I came out from
Looked
putting my
bad.
son to sleep, and it was on TV, and Liz was already entrenched. And so I thought, all right,
What's it
whatever.
about?
It's got Simon Pegg in it. Simon Pegg is...
Oh.
It's like his like dud project.
Is
I
this
don't
his
think he
first
wrote it.
American movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
with Jennifer
It's like-
Aniston?
No, it's got Kirsten Dunst.
Hmm.
Hey Fred,
Is
what's
it
going
Kirsten
on?
Dunst? What's the other girl?
Stabbing me in the side.
There's a model or someone.
Oh, Megan Fox.
Megan Fox, that's right.
Yeah.
Is there anything on
It's
shirt?
terrible. It's terrible. It's like that Ricky Gervais liar film kind of thing.
Oh, that's
Invention of Life.
not that great, but it's got some ideas.
It was-
going
I think
Well,
it
it's got
was
some
worse
ideas,
than
but
that.
you know,
Why did you
when they
Simon
take
Pegg
someone
has got
who's-
nothing. What I want to know, because I
It's
don't
so
think
bad.
he didn't. He was just an actor. He didn't write.
Nah, he
No.
didn't have anything to do with
Have you seen Paul? Which I think he did, right?
it.
what do you think of that?
I didn't see that.
With
With
Seth
the alien.
Rogen.
I saw
voicing
Paul.
the alien.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't like
Wasn't Shaun of the Dead or
great,
Hot
like
Fuzz.
Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz, but like
Why would you go from those?
Those guys have just
like
lost the
that
plot. You know, the director. Well, you liked Scott Pilgrim, but I didn't.
I like
And
Scott Pilgrim was cool.
Simon Pegg's sort of gone off the plot. those guys should just team back up and get on the plot.
I really liked Scott Pilgrim, so
I haven't seen it.
I thought that kind of fits in well with Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz sort of thing. You know, it's got that same kind of.
It didn't have any soul to it.
Yeah,
But it was missing the fat guy.
By soul, you mean fat dude?
Was Adam Frost?
Because he made a movie of his own
Nick
called
Frost,
The Block.
Nick Frost?
Have you seen that?
No.
Block.
What's
Block. I haven't seen it either. But that's the fat guy.
Attack the
Oh.
Block. No, that's meant
Attack
to be
the Block.
amazing.
Oh,
I
did
want
he
to
make
see
Attack
that.
the Block?
I think that
Not
was
the
fat
Block.
guy. Oh, he's
with
in it?
Shelley Craft.
Who's the fat guy on the
The
block?
TV show, no. Attack the Block. I think that's...
You're a sucker for these shows, Cal.
Attack the Block is Shaun the Dead, but with aliens except zombies, apparently.
Yeah,
With
it's
Nick
supposed to be
Frost.
really cool. Everyone lost their minds over it.
Right, yeah, I haven't seen one.
Anyway, How to Lose Friends and Alienate People, probably the worst one. It's up there. It's one of the worst films I've ever seen. Everything about it was crap.
Yeah.
The casting was terrible. Every single person in it.
I went and saw that at cinema thinking...
Did you?
It was like Cheap Tuesday, but I was thinking, Simon Pegg...
But, like,
some people had some
individually-
positives to say, the critics, but they'll obviously lose.
Individually, all the people in it, you're like, okay, Simon Pegg's in it, Kirsten Dunst's in it, Megan Fox, I mean, she's whatever, but she's
They're
in
all
it.
terrible.
Jeff
except Simon
Bridges
Pegg.
is in it.
He's pretty cool.
But, you know, like, individually, you're like, oh, those people have been in decent things. Except Megan Fox.
And I thought it'd be fine, because it's
I'm
like
thinking
him
of
coming
She
to
was in
America.
Transformers.
Kirsten. The Twilight chick.
That's
No, that's
neither.
Kirsten Stewart.
Stewart.
She's not in it.
She's awesome.
But everything about it, the directing, it was just so boring.
Kind of a side
The script was really, like, dull.
Go off,
Um, like, the production, it just looked so cheap and nothingy. There was no character to it.
I saw the first 15 minutes and it looked
You bailed.
bad.
Good-
it looked
good move.
like a B grade. Like
It did. It was like it felt like a really cheap, crappy guy's version
Yeah.
of The Devil Wears Prada. Because it's the
yeah,
same sort of
that's true.
thing. But The Devil
Yeah.
Wears Prada is so good and so funny and so stylish and really cutting and moving. And this
I
thing
actually
was
like
just-
that film.
I love The Devil Wears Prada.
Have you seen the September issue?
Yes.
It's pretty cool as well.
I went and saw that.
Oh, is that
in the
worth seeing?
cinema?
With them into oh,
Yeah.
You went to see it in the cinema?
Yeah, because I was so into
Vogue?
The Devil Wears Prada.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you're...
I know I did.
What do you know?
There was some coincidence as well that we had a night off with someone was babysitting and it was like, what are we going to see here?
I saw the trailer, I thought that'd be cool, but... I didn't feel like you need to see it at the movies, but I still
No.
haven't seen it, so there you go.
You don't need to see it at the movies.
You know, I
And
did
you'll
see it at
never
the
get
movies.
what?
what did you
Bats.
think? Titanic 3D.
No.
Avengers.
But it was in 3D, yes. Avengers.
Oh, Avengers. That was awesome.
You went and saw that?
I saw Avengers.
You thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was pretty much as stupid as I actually did.
It's coming from the number one Transformers fan.
Well, it was awesome for a stupid movie.
Like, the last third is entertaining. The whole start... The first third is probably the worst movie I've ever seen. The first third. The whole... Just, I mean, the concept... I mean, we talked about it earlier. So, like, the whole concept of Avengers is stupid. Like...
Yeah, we have
Having-
to go into it thinking this is a stupid concept.
Yeah,
Stupid
Yeah.
yes.
action film.
You've got to give it that.
What was your favourite of... we may have talked about this, but what was your favourite of the lead-up ones?
Well, Iron Man. You can't go by that. Iron Man movies were awesome. The rest
What
of them
about
were
between
mediocre.
Thor and Captain America?
Oh, I thought Captain America was better.
What about Hulk? Not Ang Lee's
I
Hulk,
never
the
saw.
second
I
one.
never saw this
Because that was part of the canon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Second Hulk is part of,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I never saw
but
it.
not first Hulk.
But there's
Eric
nothing...
Banner Hall.
Not Eric Banner Hulk. I
There,
think
there's
that's
nothing...
been purged.
The only movie... Avengers is a sequel to Captain America, okay?
Mhm. haven't seen
But
it.
they don't... Like, it starts off right where Captain America ends, but they don't deal with any of the issues that they left that film with at all. Like, they have a
Right where
flashback.
Captain America is.
What he's like punching a punch bag training of Captain America. He has flashes of stuff, the issues he's dealing with in his head, and that's the only way they deal with it. But
No,
do
it's
you
a
know what?
completely separate movie. It's not a sequel. Like, it's set several years after they
No.
find Captain America. Yeah.
Doesn't he finish the movie in the gym?
You can go to the gym twice. Go back
I reckon
to it
Captain
2 years
America-
later.
But it was
But
like,
they-
at
They
the-
walk in and say, "Hey, Captain America, this is the mission that we woke you up from the freeze from." That was where that.
Well, I can't
Anyway,
remember
Captain
the end of
America
Captain
gets
America.
frozen at the end of
Yeah,
World
yeah.
War II. The spoilers. I mean, it's not really much spoiler.
that's been in the comics, and it's
And they unfreeze him to be part of the Avengers. And of course, there's this. I mean, imagine that. Where I guess all the people that you knew back then, your friends, family, and that, are either dead or they're like 90 years old.
Yeah, it's a pretty
I don't know
cool
when
kind of
Avengers is
thing.
set, but
Like Austin Powers.
No, I was under
Austin Powers.
I was under the impression,
Oh, who's that? What's that classic?
and it makes
story?
more sense.
Not Rumpelstiltskin. Who is it?
like they called back they and they dealt with
Van
other things
Winkle.
like Thor. They're like, oh, where's Natalie Portman? And they do this brief thing. Oh, don't worry, Natalie Portman's safe. The only person they ever dealt with was Iron Man, where Pepper Potts was actually there, so you got to see.
Worst character ever. They
You-
brought her back for Avengers.
Yeah, you're so biased against Pepper Potts just because
Why do
she's played by Gwyneth Paltrow.
Why do you hate it?
I like Pepper Potts.
Because
She's
played
cool.
by Gwyneth
She
Paltrow.
makes Iron Man.
Nah, she's awesome. I was under the impression that it was
Is it the name?
they found
No, I love alliteration.
And
they
literal name.
found Iron Man like 10 years or something before the start of that movie, and he'd just been like secluded away doing his own thing because he didn't want to deal with.
No, but isn't
the
they
modern
wake him up
world.
and it's like, we need you again to save the world at the end of the last.
Shall I look
It's been
it
a
up?
year since I've seen it, but
What, Avengers?
no, Captain America.
Yeah, it's been a year since I've seen it as well, so I don't know. But I was under the impression that it was
I
like
would have
10
watched
years,
it again,
so
but
he's
it's
like
filmed in day soap.
he's got over the whole thing about being, everything changed, and he was just like
He's over it.
in a bit of a, whatever. He's over it. That was my take on it. So maybe that made me enjoy it.
Can someone... one of my big concerns about the film was Hawkeye and Black Widow feeling...
They're
like-
actually the only good part about the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hawkeye's not, though.
What do you mean?
He was useless. He didn't do anything. He was
Oh.
lame.
Yeah, but how do they fit in with
Black
these
Widow was
actual,
good, like-
powerhouse characters?
Yeah, they're the only interesting
They have personality.
characters in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah?
Not well, actually, Hawkeye, you don't even see his personality, but
But do you feel
He
like they're
kicks
pulling
ass.
their weight in the battles?
oh yeah, they do all the work.
Oh, really?
Black Widow. Oh yeah, she.
The
well, she
Avengers are
doesn't
basically
do, like,
the-
She doesn't kick ass, but she does a lot of
Yeah, they're like the
lot of
professionals.
stuff,
The other
like,
guys are just people that happen to have superpowers and they're a bit dumb,
Okay.
or they're like Iron Man and he's good, but he's a bit cocky for his own good.
What about Captain America? Isn't he the best? There is at what he does.
But that's probably my flaw of the movie, is that those guys should be the worst. They should be the crappy characters.
Now,
Yeah.
my flaw of the movie was that Thor couldn't beat up Iron Man. Like, he's got a hammer
What?
made of like neutron stars, and he hit Iron Man as hard as he can in the face, and Iron Man goes like, "Ooh!" It's like, yeah. If Thor hits Iron Man, he should be like shattered
Busted
into
up.
a
Yeah.
million pieces.
I don't
He's
know the
just
Thor
made of bloody
mythology,
metal.
so-
There was an awesome fight between Thor and Iron Man a few years ago in the comics series, where Iron Man fucked over Thor and made a clone of him without him knowing, and then sent that clone off to war or something. And Thor got super pissed and beat the shit out of Iron Man because Thor's like a god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
He should be able to
don't-
kick
he was
anyone's
like,
ass.
Don't
This
you
is
forget
why they
this
should
little
make-
man sort of thing. It was awesome.
You know what would be great? A movie with Iron Man and Batman together. That'd make a good movie.
Different
The Odd
companies,
Couple.
though.
I know.
The Playboy millionaire.
Yeah, they're both
Come
Playboy
superhero.
millionaires, but one's embraces the other one just does it reluctantly, and it would be the best movie
Write some
ever.
fanfic.
Just imagine Iron Man, Iron Man and Batman walking down the street going, yeah. How great would that be?
What, they both have to hang
Because
out
they're probably
as millionaires.
in the superhero of all. I guess they're two different universes, but they're the only peers of each other, really, wouldn't they be?
I'm not the only. I mean, there's everyone's got a parallel with a different company, but those two are kind of quite parallel in that they're both billionaires.
And why
and
have
neither of them have superpowers.
Why isn't Spider-Man in there? I think we talked about this as well. Didn't we?
I don't know. Well, they should have. Well, they're about to reboot it though.
Why is
Well,
Thor's
they should have had him in it and then rebooted.
the
But-
Thor movies? The only good thing about the Thor movie is kind of like, oh, this god's walking around Earth. It's like, it half-heartedly tried to pull off like an Ali G movie where it's like some character walking around going, oh, thinking he's so good, but he's on Earth, and
Has he still got all his godly powers when he falls to Earth?
No.
They get taken away from him.
Yep.
Does he have to work at a fast food restaurant?
No. He gets them back pretty quick.
Oh.
And then he kicks butt and then he goes home. That's the end of the movie.
Does he have sex with Natalie Portman?
Be dangerous.
I think it's implied that they will.
It's implied. There was no, like,
Definitive.
hot and heavy action.
Be like a Twilight scenario.
Oh, you reckon?
Dangerous.
Yeah.
The passion.
Is
Godlike
there a
power.
rainbow
God.
bridge to Asgard?
Yes, I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Okay.
There's some form of bridge.
Yeah, it's a rainbow bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But I think it's like a teleport, right?
Yeah, teleports you wherever
But
you, want to go in
you
the
teleport
universe.
through rainbows.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. All right. I
But-
feel like I should watch all this stuff, but then I feel like I don't want to.
No, I don't.
They're not
But you know,
great.
the only reason I knew anything was from playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Like,
That game was
the aircraft carrier wheels, you know,
Heli
they had
character.
the heli character.
Oh, was that actually in it? Cause
Yeah, that's
when
what we were running around on.
When that bust out, I thought, man, that is lame.
And the weird thing was, like, all the Avengers aircraft was, like, super modern advanced, and the other aircraft on the helicopter were, like, Harriers, which are, like, from the 1950s and stuff like that. And it was weird.
Stupid.
But then, yeah, they had Harrier jump jets, like 50-year-old aircraft on the thing. But then in the actual battle scenes, they had F-35s, which haven't even gone into service yet. It was weird.
I know Nick Fury's in charge of all that. Isn't he?
No, Nick Fury's pretty lame character.
Is Dum Dum in it?
Who's Dum Dum?
He's a agent of Shield. He's like the actual
Is he the one?
hardware dude.
No,
Oh
Dum
no!
Dum's
There's
my
the
name.
guy. There's the guy that is always has been in all the lead-up movies.
I don't know who that is. Maybe he's supposed to be Dum Dum. Dum Dum's always smoking a cigar, and he's got like a brown bowler hat on and a big mustache.
And
he's
randomly, the How I Met Your Mother is a Shield agent, but I don't know if she's
Yeah.
based on
Is
the
there
comics
a
or
crossover?
that'd be
Between
awesome.
How I
Well,
Met
that's
Your
what I was
Mother?
thinking.
Which
That'd
How
be
I Met
awesome.
Your Mother?
And it
The
turns out the
news
mother
presenter.
is Black Widow
The brunette.
from the Avengers.
Yeah. She is hot. She's hotter in this than she's in the How I Met Your Mother.
I don't think she's that hot.
Not in How I Met Your Mother. They put her in like a tight cat suit.
They hotted her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
CGI.
And
Leather
she
pants.
Butt implants.
she shoots, one bullet in the forehead, boom, dead accurate.
That is hot.
Dead.
That's
Yeah.
sexy.
Just killing people
Murder.
instantly.
I get turned on. What else is on our sheet notes for chatting? We got anything?
Do you
else?
mean what's on our
running out of
sheet notes?
time.
We haven't
we
even
ran out
looked
of
at them
time.
yet.
All right.
We out of time.
About 15 minutes.
What, we've got 15 minutes?
Well, if we want to do 2 hours of D&D,
Do you mean we've got 15 minutes?
yes.
We can talk about the sheet stuff.
All right, Campbell.
Maybe we can save some.
What's number one?
I want to talk about something topical.
No, you've got to read this stuff.
Yep.
Because
Oh, you guys didn't read the show notes, did you?
Yeah, I read
What's
the show
topical?
notes.
Give us a topic.
Okay, there's this guy.
Topical to you.
There's this guy on The Verge. I don't know if you know the website. It's like
No.
it's like a tech website, right? And he
do they have
has
to
convinced his
renovate
bosses to
their
pay him to not use the internet for a year, but still be a tech blogger.
Verge?
gonna be
how's he
hard.
gonna do that?
Do you guys? How do you think you guys would survive not using the internet a year? You can
I wouldn't
only
like that.
use a mobile phone, but you can't text message.
Can I use it for work?
What, you can't text message people?
Hmm.
That's not the internet, though.
I
Yeah.
couldn't work without the internet.
You could. You just have to spend a lot of time at the library requesting articles and shit
Yeah,
like that.
it'd
and
be a
looking at
major
books.
hassle.
Yeah, but you could do it.
Yeah, but I'd be like
Yeah, you'd be
less
10%
productive. Yeah.
I reckon I'd be inconvenienced for about a month. But then my happiness level would plateau again. It would level out. I reckon I'd be just as happy without the internet.
Hmm.
No, I'd be
After a
happy
period
without
of-
the
I
internet.
don't think I'd be fine. So
I'd just
if I
be
could,
less productive.
if I was banned from all social media, anything unwork related, so I could go on scientific journal websites and maybe Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
No, Wikipedia would
That's the
definitely be out.
worst.
For work related, fine. I'll just find somewhere else. That'd be alright.
The uni internet, okay,
Yeah, okay. So the uni internet.
sucks.
That's my email.
but the internet.
Yep, I'll do that.
What about just day-to-day life, like finding out where to buy a replacement, window if someone burgles your house?
I know the window
Oh,
shop
yeah.
down in
Be
Discovery Road.
annoying. You just have to go on these stupid yellow pages.
Yellow pages never.
I don't do
bad.
that often. And then you just phone them up.
Yeah.
Hi, do you have this? Do you have that?
But you can't like read custom reviews and see which is the best place.
I rarely do that.
Oh, yeah, but just deal with it. I don't know. Yeah, it wouldn't be that bad. It'd be like a minor inconvenience. You'd be like,
But for a year though, it's not like just doing it for a week.
yeah, but if you can do it for a week, you can do it for a year.
The first fortnight's the hardest.
Yeah.
And
Is
then-
it a worthwhile stunt?
No.
Nah. What's the point?
What's this guy gonna do?
Well, he feels he'll be more productive by not being distracted by.
Well, that's a
tech
personal
blogger, so it's
observation that
stupid
he
then. That's like
wastes
me
a lot
being
of time
like-
on the internet.
I'm not gonna use a laser anymore.
Try and do your work.
I'm gonna do my work without a laser. It's a bit stupid.
Right, but he's still a journalist.
What's he gonna
Journalists
talk
don't
about?
need the internet. If they already have primary sources, they just interview this.
No, but that's a tool. If you're in that industry, it's a tool, right? So it's like being
But
a
that's
car
like-
dealership
yeah.
and you're like, I'm not going to drive. It's
Yeah,
just
or being
stupid.
like a car reviewer and saying, I'm
Yeah.
not going to...
No, but
So
I
if he
mean,
was like an
papers
artist
still,
or anything,
where papers
tech
aren't
review,
extinct yet. He reads the news on the papers.
Yeah,
on
but
the
what's he
radio.
going to do? He's going to be like, hey, we need you to review this new product. Does it have the internet? Yes. All right, I'll do an interview of this new iPhone.
No, but
Never
he
used, like,
doesn't.
any kind of
He's
wireless
he's a
connectivity.
feature. He's not a low level guy. He can write about any topic he wants, just as long
Yeah,
as
but-
people find it interesting. To
Is he
read.
getting paid extra?
I don't think so.
Is
Will he
this
get
gonna
sacked
bring in
if
a whole
he's like-
bunch of
No,
new
he obviously
readers?
got asked permission to do it.
This is going to bring in a whole bunch
Is he
of
just going to do opinion pieces?
Yeah, I mean that's what he already does anyway.
Yeah, whatever.
I haven't actually been on this website, but I think it's going to be good. Is that what he's going to say?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't think it'll really matter in the end.
But also the other point is like, say he's on a podcast, right? And he has to get people to explain to him what the full context of what he's saying, because he's probably missing a lot of context because he gets the news a day
So
late
it's a
on the paper.
Detriment to his
No, but
job.
maybe then that broadens the audience of the podcast because, otherwise only you guys could probably listen to it because you'll get a better idea
Yeah,
by
I
having
suppose.
people to explain to you on the
but
podcast.
Okay, so that's an advantage. But you could, if you wanted to run a podcast like that, you could just have a rule that you need context always.
Yeah, but people forget that. It's like saying no spoilers when we talk about movies, but everyone's itching to give away a spoiler.
Yeah, I suppose.
Deep down, every word's a C word.
Yeah. Thanos is the enemy. The secret enemy in the Avengers movie.
What are you talking about?
Just giving away some spoilers. Captain America dies at the end.
Is there anything else from we can talk about them without them having not read the articles?
I read the articles.
What articles?
They're linked to in the Google Doc.
Oh.
That's why we have the read sheet. So we read articles before the show. Then we chat about them.
Now
We
we
talk
get
about them with some authority.
Yeah. So we're all up to speed.
Mm.
Just go ahead anyway.
Do you want to go to the questions of
I'll
the week, or do
feign-
you want to keep the rest for the next
Well,
week?
what are some of the questions?
Question of the week.
One of them was about the internet, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, that was my corner.
James's corner.
I was wondering why people still kind of say, "Oh, this is the anniversary of someone's death."
Because
they
the anniversary keeps
grieving.
coming around every
Yeah.
year.
Well, you mean like if someone's parents died and they're like, "This is
Yeah,
the
why
anniversary
would
of
you
my
want to
parents died," and
remember
you're
that?
like, oh God, again.
Well,
Why would you want to
just
remember the
rem-
day they died? That's what I'm saying.
I don't think you necessarily need to tell people, but it's,
if you want to remember someone, you use their birthday, something more positive.
Yeah, but you probably weren't there for their birthday. But it's a day of loss. It's a big
Yeah.
event.
So you have to keep that day just stricken out for the rest of your life. Like,
Oh, it's 1 out of 365.
no, but it's
You live for 80
do you think your
it's
death
80
day
days.
is just as important as your birthday? Or?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a circle, isn't it? It's a circle of life, and it moves us all.
It's like two bookends. One's not very useful. Books fall off the other side.
Nice, Harry. Nice. It's like a pencil, and one side's a pencil, and the other side's an eraser. It's like a penis. One side's the head, and one's the scrotum.
Yeah.
It's just like that, James. Question answered.
Done. Tick.
Next one.
What
Everyone,
about people turning like where people died on the road into shrines?
I'm totally into that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
I think it's positive.
yeah, I think
But
it's
for
it's
what
a
reasons?
Solemn reminder to not
To
drive
remind
the train.
other people?
to remind other people.
I think it's that.
Or to worship the location of that person's
It's not
last
worshipping.
life.
I think it's recognizing, and it's one of the few public displays or acknowledgements of death that our culture allows, and it's one of the few kind of spontaneous cultural traditions that we actually have.
I don't think it's a tradition, is it? It's just something people do.
Well,
That's-
isn't
I mean,
that a
okay,
tradition? But it
No.
happens, right? And when you see it, you know exactly what it is, right?
Yeah,
And you see it all
but
across
nobody ever
Australia.
told me that's what it was.
If you guys
That's
want
what a
to
figured it
tradition
out.
is as
Pretty
well.
obvious.
If you guys want a free 6-pack of beer, if you go to the turn off to the domestic airport, right, some guy rode his motorcycle and killed himself, and someone's put a 6-pack
yeah,
of Corona.
steal
Well,
like
that's,
some.
that's a bit in bad form, I think, isn't it?
I'm just saying, if you want to get a free
No, I don't want some
6-pack,
It's
No.
dodgy. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's
who
terrible.
leaves the 6-pack instead of flowers?
James, you're
Someone who
awful.
likes beer, maybe he was drunk.
Maybe it's drunk. Well, yeah, that's the first thing I thought.
Why don't the friends should all...
You never poured one off 40 on the ground for you.
Well, that's what
What,
they should have
Tommy?
done, not left it
Smashed it.
unopened.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. It's
No.
asking to be stolen.
Yeah.
It's like
It's tempting the devil out of people
Yeah.
to go.
Well, out of some people, not
Could
me.
you stop as you're driving past, grab those beers, knock them back?
I was
and
right
then-
next to it. I was
Right,
like, I could
kill
just
yourself
at the red
on the
light. I
road.
could have popped
But
out,
you're
picked
offering
it up.
it to the like spirit of the person. You don't want to smash it.
Well, then why don't you pour it on the ground?
Yeah, pour it on the ground. I guess makes sense.
Yeah, pour it in.
Or drink it and remember him on the island in the middle of the
Oh,
road.
then don't then hop in your car and drive off,
Yeah.
or your motorbike.
When we were in Russia, we're on this island. It was like this sacred.
Ireland's not in Russia.
Sorry. It was like this sacred place of like shaman sort of
Oh, cool.
thing. 'Cause it was like this beautiful, like amazing spot, and they had all these like kind of totem pole type things with, and they'd wrap them in like fabric and do all this stuff. And anyway, they'd leave offerings for them. These beautiful, serene sort of places, the most beautiful places. They'd put one of these poles, and you'd leave offerings, and like, because they thought, you know, the best things you can leave are like cigarettes and like alcohol bottles. So people would go there and like just dump their alcohol bottles and like toss all these cigarettes, and so you get this beautiful spot, and there's all these empty bottles of booze and cigarettes and just shit
goodness.
accumulating. Like they find the most beautiful spot on the island,
And then trash it.
and then like chuck rubbish at it, and that's like
It's our way of remembering.
yeah, that's their way of worshipping their
Fantastic.
sacred.
Yeah, I'm totally all for it.
Yep, crosses on roads. Tick.
Bring it on.
Good.
Maybe they should make them permanent.
Wouldn't.
No, that'd be depressing after 100 years. And the roads lined with crosses.
Might be less accidents.
People just desensitized to anything. So if you overdo it,
True.
Overdone it. Overcome it.
Okay, my next question is: does religion need to be debunked?
No.
How do we tackle
What do you
that?
mean?
What do we got? Like 2 minutes?
What do you guys stand? Where's your spectrum of spirituality?
what aspect of religion? A literal interpretation of the Bible, or
Yeah.
that there is any form of spirituality at all?
No, yeah, as in like, did Adam and Eve exist?
It has
Do we
been
need-
debunked.
Yeah, it's been debunked.
Read a science book and then read the Bible and tell me that it makes sense.
It's been pretty comprehensively debunked.
Yeah,
No, but you go on all these atheist sites, and they seem to be, I find, just increasingly focused on debunking. Well, obviously this didn't happen because our research says this, and I'm like, is that really relevant to your cause?
you mean they're debunking the religion?
Yeah.
No, that's people. That's
It's
atheists
irrelevant. Just
waging
nutters. They're almost as bad as the people.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah, atheists, bloody pain in the butt.
So you guys
Don't-
all atheists, or
Yeah, I'm an atheist, but I'm not that kind of atheist.
are you
Hey,
agnostic?
don't give that a bad.
How do you define atheism?
You believe there is no God, whereas an agnostic says, "I don't know if there is a God or not,
But
but I don't think there is one."
But I think the true definition of atheism is what you just said was agnostic.
What's atheism?
No, well, atheism-
No,
is-
atheism means no
Atheism is
God.
stronger than atheism.
atheism is
Without
there is no
faith.
God.
Means that.
Agnostic is I
Dunno.
don't know if
Yeah,
there's no
atheist
God,
says,
No,
"Oh,
but
but
I don't
that's
think
is
there
that that's a cultural definition that some people apply.
No,
No,
atheist, like theist religion.
There are some people that
like
say-
no religion. I believe in. I do not believe in God.
Some people
It's not
associate atheism more with nihilism, when you don't believe in anything.
No.
Other than-
Well, that's a misattribution. It's not that you don't believe in anything, it's just that you don't believe in gods.
Well, it's you believe there is no God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a belief, whereas agnosticism is you don't know what you believe.
Yeah, but you don't think there is I think that's what it is?
No, I think it's just
No, isn't it? You're
one way or the other. You
until
don't have
it's
an opinion.
proven either
Yeah,
way,
that's
you
what-
don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people can
But
be...
isn't that what science is all about? You shouldn't have an opinion
Well,
until it's
even
proven.
Yeah, but you can never
but even Richard
disprove it.
Dawkins is like, I'm an agnostic erring on atheism, because he's saying, as a scientist, I can never be 100% certain.
Yeah.
But I am certain enough that there is no God that I will live my life.
That's why he says he's agnostic.
Yeah.
So he
I'm agnostic erring on atheism.
Yeah.
Because, for all intents and purposes, I think atheism is... Well, yeah, until I'm open to being proven wrong. If God comes down and goes, "Oh, you silly Billy,"
Are you
Here I
open to
am.
be proven wrong?
I'm always open to be proven wrong. Yeah. No, because if you say I'm an atheist and I will never change my opinion, then you're just as bad as any religious person.
Yeah, but that's why it's such a Richard Dawkins is saying that being atheist has become a bad word to use because some people are trying to redefine atheism as someone who refuses to believe in God no matter what.
But Dawkins is like a first wave atheist in that he's so militant and so, politicized with it. And it's like sort of first wave feminists who are like so aggressive.
No,
in
I think it's
feminism
becoming
because they
more
have to-
aggressive.
Yeah, but that gives it a bad name. Like I hate
Yeah.
bloody aggressive atheists.
So what were
They're
you,
just
Harry?
as bad as religious people. I'm with the rest of them.
Agnostic.
Yep.
But I think there has to be that hostile first wave that comes to shock people. And then you can start talking about, well, where do we actually go from here? How do we start reconciling spirituality with science and
Faithism.
faithism? There's a great TED talk about atheism 2.0, which is a bit cheesy, but he's talking about how, lots of atheists, like churches and like Christmas carols and appreciate religious works of art and, can we cherry pick those things from
Yeah, I read a
religion
podcast.
and
with-
also, still have a scientific...
Is it Alan de Botton?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote a book.
Yeah, and it's interesting because he's
Yeah.
moving it into the second wave of atheism where, Dawkins...
But I thought Dawkins
and
hated him
Christopher
for that.
Hitchens, yeah, probably did. Just as lots of first wave feminists hated the waves that came after them for being too weak and not, strong enough. But it's about, actually coming up with solutions.
I'm pretty atheist, but I went to church with my auntie, and I thought it was going to be like, ugh. But it was actually really nice.
Yeah, I mean, people go not because it's awful. It's like Liz, she's agnostic, but doesn't err on the side.
But
of
did you
atheism
check out
like I do.
the politics of whatever thing you went to?
It was, I presume it was Church of England or Anglican, so I'm pretty sure it's like, I think they let in gays and they don't really care about abortion and they're not into creation,
But
They're just
do they understand that the separation of church and state?
what do you mean? No, because it's the Church of England, so it's like the state religion. The Queen is the head of that church.
Right.
But it's very...
So they feel that religious law should be applied to everyone.
No, that's what I... No, it's like the most docile church you can imagine. It's just like a community church. It's not very... It's just like... a community. It's more of a community thing than any sort of hierarchical structure trying to change laws.
Well, that's about it for time. We might save the other stuff for next week. You guys have any closing thoughts?
I'll give you a teaser for what's happening next
The
week.
live show keeps on going. We're playing D&D. Don't worry.
Ooh, D&D.
Yes, that stands
D&D
for
Club.
Dungeons and Dragons. Look, so next week we're going to be talking about the leaked new Mini Cooper design.
Dun, dun, dun.
We're going to be talking about Hulk Hogan and his House of Lies.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about this. I was hoping we'd
What's
talk about
that?
We're going to be talking
I'm
about Kickstarter.
intrigued.
it. Oh, you should have read the article.
We're going to talk about failed Kickstarter projects.
Yeah. The best kind of facial hair.
Yeah, amazing facial hair. We're going to be talking about...
We should have stuck to this thing from the start.
Imagining
listen next week.
monsters.
We're going to be talking
And
about optical
optical-
illusions and how your brain tricks you into seeing things that aren't there, things that go bump in the night.
Should Lego wigs come in style?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
feel drunk spray, nasal
Yeah.
spray, I think it is.
Wow.
So we're going to be talking about that next week.
I'm
as long
actually
as people
excited.
read the run sheet.
I will. If I knew it was this.
Well, if you'd
I
read the
knew
Google
the
Doc
run
like
sheet
we
would be
said,
If you read the run sheet, you would have known it was
would.
that. So next week's going to be hot,
I thought it was
hot.
just filled with like, who's the hottie now?
Well, we're going to
Well,
who's the
we've-
hottie now as well.
always need help with Hottie. I picked out one person.
And
We
I've
need
been
someone to verse
struggling.
it up.
Yeah, but it's a bit creepy, I think.
Pun?
It's like child actors growing up.
No, but but they're older than us.
Yeah, and who's the hottie now? Not then.
Yeah.
Don't you have to do a then and then now?
Oh,
No.
well, we can skip to then.
No, not if they're children. We stick to who's the Hottie now with those.
Can we have like who was the cutest then?
Nah, it'll get creepy.
No.
Nah, just blanket ban on that.
All right, so dear listener, we will see you next week. Or
I mean, mate,
please
perhaps
keep
you can
listening
say,
for Dungeons and
you
Dragons.
could say who I thought was going to grow up the hottest.
Nah, it's too weird. It's just, it'll get weird.
But they're all people that the same age as us or older when we're back then.
So what,
is
you
it
want me
weird?
I'll show you two photos of two babies, and you got to pick one that grows up to be the hotter one.
No, what was your thought
kind
back
of freaky.
then?
What
When
was
you
your
were a
thought-
kid,
yeah, what did you
you have a
think
crush on that girl when you were that age or younger than them?
What about Alex
suppose.
Mack
That's
from-
not creepy.
Did she grow up
from
to be
the
hot?
secret world of Alex Mack?
Yeah. Oh, that's...
I thought she was.
That's a good one.
Got to be in a future, yeah.
What about Seventh Heaven?
Who was
No,
the
that
hottie?
was-
You
that
liked
was
the goblin
like
in that one.
17. There's a girl who works at Farmer Jack's who looks exactly like the goblin. Fun fact.
You used to like the little kind of Hispanic girl in that one.
No.
Yeah. She was little. Is that?
No,
Actually, now I'm
no,
thinking
you're
back,
full of
that's
shit,
weird.
Campbell.
She was really.
No, I
Fred.
think you're full of shit.
No, you liked the older brother with the foppish hair.
No. Jessica Biel was pretty hot.
You liked the dad.
I saw Stealth the
You
other
like
day.
the mother.
Still.
It was free on Crackle.
Why? Yeah. Is that the one where the plane goes rogue?
Yeah.
I saw a smidgen.
It was
of
filmed
that
in
on TV.
Australia. It was really weird.
Someone in high school, I can't remember who it was saying that they drive super safe when they're high. And then smoking some
Yeah.
weed, and then you do a bit of driving, and it's like you do 10 k's an hour, and you're freaking out, and you're so safe. That's what they were saying.
Yeah.
Is there anyone cooking that?
I didn't
Yeah, I
believe
know
it.
there's heaps.
Could you?
I'm so much better
It's
at
wrong
like Halo
Thanks.
while drunk. Substantially. I actually,
Yeah.
when I was sober, I went back, looked at my scores, compared it when I was sober to when I was drunk, and I was actually statistically better.
Jeremy Clarkson wrote an article about some driving arcade machine he has in his house. I don't know what it is. But he was talking about him. No, I think it was a stand-up cabinet from memory. Something like Super Off-Road or something funny. But he was talking about how if he's had like a Scotch and Coke or something and he plays it, he's like the best at it and he gets all these high scores. But if he has two, he's like...
Because I think I naturally just
Terrible.
overreact, and so if you slow me down a bit, I guess, in the brain, that I actually do stuff more accurately and more
playing.
precise.
overthinking it.
I sometimes find if I'm doing some writing and like I'm a bit stressed, sometimes the stress like just blocks me and I can't think. And if I have a drink, like just like
Yeah.
get a bit loosen me up, and I can write a lot quicker and a lot better after a drink.
How does your writing go after 2 drinks? If it's better after 1,
Even better after 2.
yeah, you should get super pissed and do
Well, I
something.
think it's less detrimental than driving a car. I think the tolerance is probably greater limits. I could probably have 2 or 3.
Advocating drinking and writing.
I'm advocating drinking and
What's
working.
the quality like, though? Because you can write, but it's just a bit shit.
Yeah, well, it's probably a bit shit, but then you go back and edit it. That's what editing's for.
The hardest thing is
How's
getting
the
it
writing
out
there?
in the first place,
Exactly.
isn't it? Yeah.
How's the infomercial television channels going? They're coming along well? Been watching a few of those?
Look, you see that ad for that Dualsaw, you'll be hooked.
Oh, the Dualsaw, where there's 2 twisting.
You want one?
You've got one.
No. I was just wondering if you thought you were hooked like me.
I
You're thinking,
only
yeah.
saw it in my work break, and I just was like, "Whoa, that looks cool."
They get the inventor of the Dualsaw, this Joan guy, and they weld him into an aluminium box with a dual saw in each hand. And then he like goes
Dual saws.
and like,
Wow.
and then it kicks down the thing and like appears.
Oh, wow. I would buy
Pretty
that.
good.
Are you saying dual saw or dual?
No, it's
There's two discs, but they
DOS.
counter
But
rotate.
they're American,
in these
so
directions.
they call it the dual saw.
Dualsaw.
I think it's got Billy May in it.
So it's like two chainsaws that go back.
No, it's two circular
No,
saws
circular
that
saws.
counter
The
rotate.
blades, but they counter rotate the opposite direction.
You see that ad, you just like.
Well, where does it stop though? This is the Gillette syndrome. Is someone going to come up with a dry saw?
No,
Exactly.
you don't need more than.
Oh, well, that's what they said about razor blades. Most bloody builders would probably say that you don't need more than one saw.
No, but there's advantages to the counter-rotating saw, Campbell. There's less kick.
Please listen.
less kick. Send me a dual saw. I really want one.
Can we get into
I
that?
have nothing to saw with it.
We could find things. You could arc weld something, and then you'll saw it in half.
Hours of
You
fun.
can get a dual soil destroyer for only $199.99.
What?
Whoa.
It breaks. It's dual saws.
Dual saw.
If someone goes rogue with a dual saw, you need a dual saw sawyer.
Is the pencil case around?
Join the dual saw
Right,
community.
Sorry, what is a dual saw breaker, or is that just a type of dual saw?
It's a type of dual saw. It's like the advanced model. It looks just like a saw.
Yeah, but
I'm kind of disappointed. I thought that suitcase was it as well. Like you had to hold a big suitcase.
And there's no like videos. I want it like a.
oh, just watch channel 74 for like an entire.
Why would I watch?
for a 24-hour period.
Did you ever see on
It's
Boing
like
Boing they linked
Scotland.
to some dude who was some sword manufacturer in the States that were making like medieval kind of swords and berserker swords and two-handed swords and things, and they had an infomercial with them chopping like a pig carcass in half.
Oh, I think I did see that.
and them like doing chin-ups
yeah,
with
yeah, I
a
did see
sword
that.
over a bar, and yeah, that's pretty crazy and stupid.
It was stupid.
They had like a big leather. I think they had a big steel-capped boot, like a worker's boot, and they stuffed it with meat, like sausages and things, and then they chopped it in half with the sword, and then it like split open, all the meat came out. So they were like, "Oh, look what it can do!"
Cool.
My iPad cannot handle
The dual saw.
dual
Dual
saw
saw.
media format thing.
Could you get a dual saw?
Yeah. A bejeweled
Bedazzle
dual, a bejeweled dual saw.
Yeah, that'd be sweet for the lady in the
For the
house.
lady. Well, another segment they have on the dual saw ad is to get a lady and two safes,
Yeah,
and like a young petite lady and like some big muscular worker guy, and the little lady gets the dual saw and the big muscular guy gets that angle grinder. And guess who wins?
the guy with the angle grinder, the
No.
big muscly guy, because it's all about muscle.
No,
with
it's
the
not.
Power
It's about
tool.
the precision of the dual saw.
No, surely it's all about how much force you can apply.
It's all about the dual saw.
If you bought a dual saw and the next week they came out with a tri saw,
No,
would you
because then
feel like a
that's
gimp?
like you're back to
May as well have
you're,
one
you're
saw.
back to one saw.
What
The
if
two
it-
saws cancel each other out and you got one saw. So
Okay.
if you had a four saw,
yeah, what if it was a quad
Unisaw.
saw?
Quad saw.
that'd be too thick. It'd be like
No, what if they were precision, like engineered tiny?
What are them
Like
monoblades like? Really
Yeah, what if it
thin?
was a quad saw that was?
nah. You don't need more than two.
You don't need more than one, Fred.
No,
you don't
do.
even need one band. You don't need one circular saw at all.
I do. Oh no, I was using a circular saw.
Everyone needs one.
I should have a dual chainsaw.
That would be really good, actually.
I always like the ones where there were two guys and they pull. That's
That's
a
the
dual
original
saw.
dual saw.
That's like a half saw. Like,
No, it's not.
Yeah, 'cause
It's
you need two.
it's still something at half. It's a totally complete saw.
You need two people to operate
Nah.
one saw.
Push,
Therefore
run
it's a
around,
half
pull.
saw.
Yeah, that's
Run around, pull.
No,
Yep.
no, because you need the other person on the other side to stabilize the blade. It won't work if you're one person.
It must have been a bit of hard work.
Yeah.
We've got a section in the museum about the lumber industry in Western Australia. Lots of the original tools and stuff.
It's amazing the big trees they used to cut down.
Fucking hell. Big trees.
And they'd have to like climb it sort of like a couple of meters in order
Yeah.
to get at the sweet spot to chop it.
There's But they used to get, like, the jarrah trees, because the wood's, like, so dense. And they'd export it out to England. And there's all these, like, logs and accounts books on how much they were earning per, like, jarrah tile or brick that they'd send. And there's still streets in, like, London that are cobbled with jarrah from Perth. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Because it's, like, super hard wearing.
So good.
Super,
my
super hard.
favorite wood. Harry, you must have an opinion on this.
Yeah, definitely my favourite wood.
Jarrah.
Jarrah.
Yep.
If I were to get wood, I'd want it to be jarrah.
There's a wood in New Zealand that, like, is shimmery gold. It's true. It's pretty nuts. I can't remember what it's called.
Is Jarrah only in WA, or is it
Yep.
a worldwide thing?
No,
I don't know.
WA endemic.
Do we export it worldwide?
Yes.
Mhm.
Especially in the past.
Not so much for around anymore.
Funny that.
They should grow it.
Yeah, but it's old
Doesn't take
growth.
too long, yeah.
Takes
Alright,
ages to grow.
short term. We can't do anything. It has to be short term. Short term. Short term.
Well, we could plant it, and then, like, in 300 years we'd be
Yeah.
able to harvest it.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Jarrah forest, James?
Pun?
Have you heard of the Jarrah forest?
Yeah.
Jarradale.
Jarrah Dale? Covered in Jarrah. They're growing it.
Actually planting it? Or is it
Well,
there?
they knocked out the old Jarrah and then they
Oh.
plant new stuff.
Hmm.
Or it self-seeds.
Okay, we got to go. Good night, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening.